Hello, welcome to September 4th, 2017 vlog here, and I would just like to talk about a little bit of another top secret project. A few days ago, I talked about Project Serendipito Mime. That is a relatively newer project than the one that I'm going to talk about today, which is Project Monarch. Now, Project Monarch is a very high up, top secret mind control project that goes off of the belief that the human mind, no matter, I'll just use I'll use a reference to a show. So in Game of Thrones, there's a character named Theon, and in the show, Theon gets beaten down, and then he recovers his identity. Um, and Project Monarch is based off of the idea that the human mind will always reassert itself um, in the right conditions. No matter how when a person gets broken, they will emerge a slightly different person, slightly more messed up, but also more impressionable. Now, the idea behind Monarch is that a person is beaten down so hard that they're actually like in a cocoon in their own mind. Um, and one day they emerge as this butterfly, like a monarch, but like a king. Because once they've been beaten down by this mind control technique, this brainwashing technique, in the right way, if it's done as which it's never done perfectly right, it's always botched by the people doing it. Um, But the idea is that people will be completely resilient and immune to any type of brainwashing, any type of influence, any type of anything. So essentially, they're able to rule over people without being influenced by anyone. Um, Project Monarch is the idea of creating leaders for our society that cannot be influenced by anything other than the people who brainwashed them. It's a very, very powerful, very intensive brainwashing technique. Um, it's extremely traumatizing to go through. Um, the idea is that a person's will is broken repeatedly, and they are built back up repeatedly um, until until being until they no longer are broken by any type of psychological torture, physical pain. Physical pain isn't always done. It's done to an extent on most people that are actually on most project monarchs that are actually um, planned for real life political exposure, because the physical aspect will actually, physical torture will break a person's mind beyond, they'll become afraid of everything. Um, so Project Monarch is essentially a person is also introduced when they're in this cocoon, when they are suppressed, when essentially all of their thoughts, all of their original ideas, everything is suppressed to put them down into this cocoon. And while they're in this cocoon, they're exposed to every variant of every personality type, breaking them, but also building them back up in every combination. Each one can be done over the course of a day. So oftentimes, the people are given instructions to carry out these actions of a normal day. Um, and then when they get home or when they are finished with their obligations as to appear to be a normal member of society, that is when Project Monarch takes place. And this is pretty far into the project. This is when the monarch is emerging. Is these people, they've essentially lost who they are to all of the different torture techniques. Um, they have their new personality in a way that's similar to MK Ultra mind conditioning. Monarch is quite a bit more intense. It's geared at the idea of, rather than having someone who will listen, it's who will, MK Ultra is designed to have people do whatever you want, brainwashing to essentially be able to completely, be whatever you want them to be. They can be themselves, they can be someone else, they can be whatever. That person, is either, it's just, Monarch's kind of the opposite. So you want them to be a specific thing and never again be able to alter their course in life. The idea behind Monarch is that they eventually, someone in Project Monarch will be let in on Project Monarch itself, and let in on everything that happens is essentially be told, this is what's going on, this is what's been happening. If you don't join, we'll kill you. And that's, that's pretty much how it works. Um, as far as the, as far as the two analogies, the monarch butterfly, obviously, um, it's ugly. Obviously, it's a twisted metaphor for a butterfly emerging from the cocoon. It's something with all, and I can go into detail on why monarch is chosen as this metaphor, because the person will have started off as this worm that can be broken and beaten down and destroyed, and then they emerge as this thing that can fly above all of the other worms, and this thing that has all these different layers, all these different beautiful symbols on it. And another thing is that monarch butterflies, and butterflies in general, are creatures that have been puzzled over by humanity for millennia. There's a layer of mystery to someone, to the general public, who sees someone who has been through Project Monarch, mind control conditioning, and they see that person, and they think, well, that person's not, there's too many layers to them. How could anyone ever decipher that person? How, it's like, they're so mysterious. And how did this person come about? And people with Project Monarch, their life stories never quite add up, and we chalk it up to talent, genius. We chalk it up to a lot of different things, DNA, which those all go along with different agendas. So really, Project Monarch it's a reality of our world. It's a painful experience for anyone to go through, to be broken day in and day out, and then built back up by the handlers. So just wanted to talk a little bit about that. In another video, I'll go into detail on how Project MK Ultra evolved into Project Monarch and Project Serendipito Mime and other top secret projects that are being executed right now. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you would like for more of this information, feel free to comment with questions, or subscribe to get the feed of these daily video vlog talks.